I was lost in my head, looked around, there was no one there. I got out to breathe the fresh air. So the next picture is about something you are really passionate about also. We talk about food. We talked about food and religion, but this is the next one.
All right. So yes, this is. Can you tell what this is, by the way?
Well, you wrote that it's kind of escape box, right?
Yes, sir. This is an escape box, and I think it tells the story of two things.
Yeah.
Or maybe three. First, I'm analytical and I like to think and problem solving, and that's what this is about. Second, Tel Aviv is a notorious escape room location to come to.
Yeah.
And in COVID, it was absolutely impossible. And my wife surprised me with this escape box, which was such a great activity. And it came with a little tablet, which was, like the interaction part with the, questions, answers, tips, whatever. But yeah, I love those things and figuring out what could possibly be the hint.
Oh.
And then if you realize that something is a hint, what does it open? You have 3 different locks. And this lock is a code, this lock is a letter, this lock is the one that you move up and down.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I love it. I can tell you that we cheated with that one. Not in a bad way. We didn't manage to get 1 hour to get out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we weren't done. So we just kept going. I mean, escape room, they throw you out, too bad. But here we had the box.
Yeah.
So we just took longer. And it took us, I think, 1 hour and 20 minutes or something like that. I just, I enjoyed more, right?
I just Googled it before we started because escape box, and there is something you can buy from Finland also. It's something like 30 euros or something. I'm thinking, because my wife loves those things also, I might buy her one next week. So you inspired me.
I love that type of thinking. I mean, the business that I put up is all about that. It's about figuring out what business questions are interesting someone. Mm-hmm. Like, how does he, whatever, if it's about his market or about his competition. But then I need to figure out what are the indications behind the story, because the story isn't there. It's not black and white.
No.
So I need to find the little missing dots, like little existing dots, and connect them and find the answer between. So I like that type of thinking and problem solving and analytics, and
For me also, when I have work, I'm directing theater. And I also enjoyed when there is a problem on stage that I can figure it out, because that is the way the most most a new solution, that you don't think at first, because that's when you the creative solution, when you have a problem, that leads to something creating solution, and that's what I enjoy the most to doing theater and directing theater.
I think one thing about your line of work that I envy is the creation. I think anything that has to do with creation is incredible. As a value for educating my kids, it's a huge one. I always try, and I don't manage, especially in COVID, when you just need some kind of an activity. But I always try to buy the games that have to do with creating something.
Yeah.
That have to do. It doesn't matter if it's drawing or cooking or what have you. But if you create that thinking process of having an idea and making it into a reality and sharing it with other people, I think it's huge.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I miss most about my work, is creating. But that's why actually I'm doing this. I'm also creating something. This is the one part we're doing, but then it's all the editing and all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of like my way to create in this situation.
Hours of copy paste and additional.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm definitely going to do that escape box. And when I'm done, in the timeline they gave to me. I'm not gonna cheat. I'm gonna send it to you, to Israel.
Very good.
And
I
it's
love
in
that.
Finnish, so it's even harder.
I love that. Thank you.
Why you sent me this one?
Yeah, so we talked before about drinking together, and people don't know this about Israel, but Israel has a great wine scene happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's unlike the European. I love wine. Okay, that's the beginning point of all of this.
Okay.
But Israel didn't have, historically they did, but when the Jews came to Israel 70 years ago, there wasn't any wine industry the same as in Europe, etc. And also didn't grow not the wine, but the industry itself. There were people who grew wine we have every weekend we have to bless wine, so they had that wine, but nothing really professional. And lately, in the past maybe 20 years, from a very scientific, by the way, point of view, and getting on the horse, there is a scene that's growing for Israeli wine, and you get very high quality Israeli wine. My cousin, by the way, is a farmer, and it's very cool. He goes different places to learn how they do things, how they cut the grapes, or how they water the whatever, and then he brings those technologies here or ideas. He's a doctor, agronome, so he really studies the earth. And he took me one picture I was looking to send you, I couldn't find. He took me last summer. They bought a new, it's a kind of a tractor that as it drives, it picks up the grapes by itself.
Yeah.
Brings it up like this crazy device, and then filters out all the non-grape, like all the leaves, etc. And you end up with this huge barrel of just the grapes. Anyways, technology, right? But so there is a wine scene in Israel. It's very technology focused or scientific focused, and there's high quality wine to find, but it's also much more expensive than what you get in Europe, and that's unjustified.
Next time I'm going to liquor because in Finland we can only buy alcohol at a certain place, which is called Alko. No, we have no wine in our grocery store. So next time I go there, I will find Israel. And
I have a better solution. When you come here, we'll swap. I'll make sure to give you a set of good Israeli wine that I want you to taste, and get a simiaki from you.
I like your solution.
I gotta get out.